I have a special guest for today's Extra Channel video. This is my dad. Why are you in Charlotte?
I'm here for a meeting and I had to drive right by, so I decided to come in and see what was going on. I've never been here before.
What are your thoughts?
It's pretty cool. It's impressive. It's bigger than I thought and different than it looks on YouTube channels.
How could you better describe it to somebody who is watching it?
It's brighter, bigger. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things going on that you don't always see if you're only looking at one project. And just the orientation of everything, what I thought I had pictured in my mind, is different now that I can see where everything is, because you're in here and you can see the whole place.
Does that poster look familiar?
Yep, I have one of those in my office. Where'd you get yours?
The Hall of Fame Museum, not the NASCAR one. There's a North Carolina Auto Racing Hall of Fame, which is down by all the stuff on 77, the one that Don Miller runs, and they have a bunch of old stuff in the gift shop. Like, people donate things and they sell it for the charity, and they had one of those, and I was like, oh, I have to get that because you had one in your office. I remember looking at that ever since I was really little.
Yeah, it's cool. Back the no bull things were great because you could win $1 million to win a race.
How did you end up with that poster?
I got it at a race, probably.
Was it like a new poster when you got it?
Yeah.
So that thing's been on your office wall since I was, like, shortly after I was born, probably.
Yep.
Yeah, because I remember looking at that thing. This has always been in there.
Yeah, it was probably one of the first things I put up because it's still there. It's kind of on that back wall, and it fits right in that little space.
Behind your copier.
Yeah.
The copier's holding it up now. And we don't have Oreo Dale Earnhardt, but we have that one. He came from the same place.
Do I still have Oreo Dale?
Yeah.
I thought you took Oreo Dale.
You like those, right?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I don't normally drink light beer, but I will if it looks good.
If it's just there.
Are we sponsoring these guys?
No, we had that because the guy that was helping us paint stuff, we thought it would be nice to have beer here for him, and then he was like, oh no, I don't need it. And we're like, great, now we're
Now we have a case of beer that we'll never drink.
Now you're trying to get rid of it. I'll try it though. I haven't had an Ultra in a while.
I remember you used to drink that when I was little.
Oh yeah, I drank light beer, Coors Light, Bud Light, Miller Light, all the light beers.
I remember when you switched to that stuff, it was like, that was the first I'd ever heard of it, because you were like, oh, I'm not going to drink this other stuff anymore, just that.
It's not bad, but it's not an IPA.
Are you just too fancy for that now?
IPAs aren't fancy, they just have a lot more flavor. This stuff has like a bad aftertaste.
I could smell your IPAs from like 10 feet away whenever you have got one open. Like, I could smell when it's around. It's like syrup.
Nah, they're not syrupy. Only 95 calories. An IPA has 150 to 200.
Huh. You got something against our weed whacker rope?
No, it was just under my feet.
Do you have any 95 Suburban stories? Like, I don't know, whatever you told us. Didn't your trailer hitch have a dent in it from some guy hitting you?
Yep. Oh, that was a good story. I was in Michigan doing the off-ramp loop on 94 to 275, and I was coming down, and I was gonna go, and I decided not to go because I was gonna jump in front of some people, and so I stopped real quick, and I got nailed from behind. And I got out, and I looked, and this guy had a Ford Ranger pickup truck, and he hit it kind of at an angle right at the trailer hitch. His truck was all banged up, like they had to tow it. And he's like, oh man, my insurance is gonna get, I'm gonna get in trouble. Don't report this. I'm like, I don't see any damage in my car, and I gotta go. So you're on your own, buddy. I'm out of here. I left. That was it.
Yeah, I remember that. When that hitch was at my eye level, that outer ring around it, it was pushed a little bit.
Yeah.
But that was it.
And he hit me so hard, I figured there had to be damage. And I got back there, and there was like, his car was destroyed. There was nothing wrong with mine. Like, maybe scratched the hitch a little bit, which I didn't care. put about 230,000 miles on one of those. So there's got to be a lot of stories.
Oh, that's better. What do you think of when you look at it? Does it remind you of yours? Like, you don't really spend time up close with these anymore.
No, but I mean, you know, it was a great truck. I would have kept it longer, but the rear end went out and I couldn't get a rear end replacement. They wanted $3,000 and the truck was only worth like $5,000, and it just didn't seem like it was worth it. If you'd have been 20 years older, you would have fixed it for me and I'd still be driving.
Yeah, or just changed the rear end in that. Went to the junkyard and got one for $600.
Right. When, you know, in when was that, 2003?
Yeah.
Why didn't they offer to do that?
I don't know. Probably because they wanted to sell you a new one.
I didn't buy a truck from them.
Joke's on them, I guess.
Yeah, because they were getting a lot of service work out of this. Like I was telling you, I had to replace that rear air conditioning line. I forget what else broke on it. The wiper motor broke. Really not a whole lot of stuff broke on that thing.
Didn't the window motor die?
Window motor died and the seat was loose because you used to always kick the back of it.
Really?
Yeah.
It was loose from me doing that?
From you. And you were little in your car seat. You'd be driving around and be like, I want out of my seat, I want out. And you'd yell and scream and kick the back of my seat and push on it. And it got loose.
What did you do whenever I was doing that?
Like, hey, we're not anywhere where we can get you out. So you're just going to have to sit there and suffer. That's how you develop patience.
Did you tell me to shut up, or did you just pretend it wasn't happening?
Turn up the music? I don't know. I don't remember. Your mom probably yelled at you.
That's funny. I think I remember hearing about that.
Wasn't that often though, because you liked to go for a ride, so probably you had to go to the bathroom or something.
Yeah, just didn't know how to say it.
But that whole rear end thing started because the wheel bearing, or somebody stripped a wheel lug nut when I got new tires at Butler Tires for Less. Don't ever go there. And they said that it was like that when they got it. And then ever since then it started doing things that caused problems. The wheel bearing went bad. I remember I was in Cincinnati one time and it was like wheel bearing grease all over the side of the car because it was spewing out. And I got a new wheel bearing, but it had done so much damage they had to put an oversized bearing in. And then when it wore out again, they had to put another oversized bearing in, which they said they didn't have. And they're like, well, your axle can just come right out while you're driving if this thing lets loose. Is that true?
Yeah, if the C-clip fell out of the inside of the carrier, then it could come out. But the pin would have to come out to let the C-clip loose for it to come out. But if the axle broke somewhere between the hub and the center section, then it could come out.
So that's why the demise of that 94 Suburban, we might still have it.
It was 95.
95.
Oh, you want to meet Rob?
Yep.
Yeah, he's right over there.